Legend of Total Snore here, and today we've got a rating your Doomstack video covering a Karak artillery Doomstack with 7 flame cannons, 6 organ guns, a whole bunch of Thanes, Runesmith, and Master Engineer. Going up against Wood Elves, they're sending 3 armies at us. I have no idea if this would be good or bad. I mean, the stats on the artillery looks pretty good. The auto-resolve's pretty okay considering what we're going up against here. Just have to see how we go. It gave me some simple instructions. Basically, corner camp, micro the heroes, which is pretty much what I think to do anyway. But it's good if I can get some instructions so I can use the Doomstack in the intended way to test it out. Corner camping over here would be a huge mistake, so clearly we're meant to be over here. We should put the flame cannons in the rear because they can shoot over the heads of organ guns. Now, typically speaking, when it comes to missile units in Warhammer 3, you really don't want to issue orders, like firing orders with them, unless you're firing at the ground, because I've noticed that they will just have line-of-sight issues and just not shoot, or they'll move forward or something like that. Whereas if you just leave them alone, make sure you put them in position, give them the best line of sight you possibly can, they will at least shoot at something. So yeah, it can be a little bit difficult if you've got the micro to actually use them, and then have to have the willpower to just not do it. Alright, this terrain is not great. Huge obstruction over here. Well, I guess if we're moving to this point here, we should be okay. Because they're not super long range anyway. Going up against the Wood Elves was an interesting choice, because I don't think this is good against the Wood Elves at all, due to their sort of loose formation and a lot of stalking units. They just sort of come up on us. But we'll see what we can do. Alright, what we want to do here is just turn around right at the start, because we're going to need to get into position. It's quite likely that the enemy forces will wait for reinforcements before they come over here, so we should have time to set up. Alright. So I think I'll do 2 lines of flame cannons there. Then, I don't like these trees in the way here, but organ guns there and there. And all of these guys need to stay well back over here to try to tank. We don't want them getting any funny ideas, because it's only going to take 1 unit to just rip them all to shreds. We have to make sure we stay back if that's the case. Maybe put the Master Engineer. No. We really need every single person we can. He's got the Iron One tanker to just tank. Also guys, if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to subscribe. It turns out, and this is really strange to me, that every time I ask for people to subscribe, they actually do it. Weird. See, over the past like year and a half, I've just sort of stopped asking for people to subscribe. But since we got a subscribe goal for the charity live stream, and people are subbing only if I ask for it. If I don't ask, people don't sub. So yeah, I appreciate it, you guys subbing. Also, I have a confession to make. The Legend of Total Snore was planted by me yesterday. Do you know how you can tell that it was actually me, not auto-captioned? It was capitalized. I just thought I'd see what would happen if I changed the auto-captions and see what would happen. And, yeah, it's pretty weird that something as trivial as that could actually end up on the Reddit, where a lot of people were just like, "Yep, I knew it all along." A lot of personal bias confirmed. And it was all just a joke. But whatever got people a few laughs, that's what it was all about. Because yeah, I normally don't change the auto captions, but in yesterday's video, it didn't say anything. It just said here, and today we're doing a Doomsday video. So I was like, I'll just chuck it in there and see what happens, see if anyone even notices. And yes, they did. It's weird, I had messages from people on like Twitter saying, "You need to change this, it's insulting you." And I was like, dude, I did it manually. Who cares what the captions say? We're the defender here, so they'll come at us when they're ready. I guess if I do this, it might get them to come a bit earlier. I have noticed in Warhammer 3 that trying to get them to like charge earlier by using some sort of ranged or magic attack doesn't trigger them in the same way as it did in Warhammer 2. Alright, so the mindset behind here is that these guys here, they arc their shots a fair bit using the flame cannons. So they can stay at the back, whereas the organ guns can't really arc their shots that well. I can put them on guard mode, but typically speaking... Oh, hang on. What we want to do instead is just make sure that all of our, like... Hang on. All the area here is covered, and we don't want to be issuing any orders whatsoever. We just have to hope that they dish out damage. And what we want these ones here to do is prevent anyone from coming over here as much as possible. They need to be a fair distance out, or else the way watchers won't shoot at them, or won't shoot at these guys there, that is. They'll just run past and go for the artillery. So balance of power is not in our favor. And let's see how we go here. This house in the way here is a bit of a pain, but I'm pretty sure the flame cannon can shoot over that. Maybe I could just move a little bit further back, just in case. We also want to make sure that there's no cannons that are standing on top of each other. It's okay if they're right next to each other like that, but see that's a problem. We don't want that, because that'll obstruct this one. Make sure you check your artillery if you're going to do this kind of stuff. And then, yeah, we'll just see how we go. So we got an Ancient Tree Man coming in. We have decent amount of ammo. See how we go. So I do want to put this guy over here for ballistics calibration, but it's not that important. And I'm going to need this guy as like a last line of defense for tanking and to use the flash bomb. Like I said, not issuing orders, just let them autopilot. It'll mess up our formations like crazy. Got plenty of ammo, so wasting a little bit on this lord here is not so bad. But yeah, it can be very tempting to have this sort of army here and deliberately not micro it. Just because Warhammer 3 is kind of janky with missile micro. No, it's about to go anyway. About to go. They're coming at us kind of in waves, which is what we want. Okay, make sure we use the heroes to, as much as possible, slow them down.
Yes. The clans unite.
So far, so good. Still got plenty of ammo. But this one here could probably use a little bit extra. Is this guy going down? We'll see.
Master engineer, we are relentless.
Okay, maybe used up a bit more ammo than we really needed to there, but we'll see how we go. A lot of the times with these rating your Doomstack videos, you don't want to use it 100% optimally, or else
Those dwarven legs. Moving out.
I don't know, the whole point of a Doomstack is that they're stupidly easy to use. And you kind of get them in your campaigns when you're done playing your campaign, if you know what I mean. Okay, I am going to tell this one here to stop firing for a little bit. Them coming at us a little bit of a time is kind of clever because it's forcing us to use up more ammunition than we really need to.
It is a reckoning.
Cease. Shattered, just let it go.
Move.
Alright, speed up a bit. Yeah, still another whole army to come in. Okay, let's get that going again. Now, it kind of looks like this rock here is obstructing us, but it's just a visual. It's not even a glitch. It's just when it gets a little bit out of range, it just disappears. But the actual shot's still going. Yeah, it just looks like it's getting obstructed. It's just because I'm not 100% on the max graphics setting.
Organ gunner.
I won't be able to shoot over that ridge. Okay, once again, cease firing.
Plow through.
Alright, we've used up quite a lot of ammo for really not that many kills. So, I'm definitely not doing a good job. I'll admit that.
Down.
Kind of weird to see how they're just not aggressively charging at us, kind of coming at us really slowly. This is not the Wood Elves that I remember from, like, Warhammer 2, which are basically on rabies. They just, like, charged at you
Flame cannon.
like crazy.
Attack. Kill Earths.
Yeah, they're just coming at us, like, really slowly. Let's just hold back on the artillery for now. It's just not worth shooting them. Yeah, don't let them get in range here, because they will shoot at the artillery.
Alea's blessing.
Let's
on
wait
us.
for a bit of a clump to show up. It's all still within range. And then we'll use the artillery. Well, maybe just use a volley here and there.
Loaded ammunition.
Because, yeah, these stains can easily hold up against Eternal Guard. That's no problem. Looks like they've all got Iron Warden tankards. But yeah, they're goofing around like crazy over here. It's on very hard battle difficulty, right? Yep. Well, Thanes aren't having any problems there.
We fire on your command.
Okay, it seems like the flame cannons have a lot more ammunition than the organ guns, so letting them shoot off a little bit more, probably a bit more ideal than using the organ guns at the moment.
Shield bearers.
Still got a few of these restocks. One of the reasons why I was being a bit careless with ammunition at the start. But yeah, they are being real stupid here. Alright, bring this a little bit further back over here so that the cannons can actually hit them.
Strike out. Flame cannon. For the ancestors.
Okay, now what might be good is if we use
Flame cannon.
these ones here. Let's do a little bit of a switcheroo. We'll put these ones... yeah, I'm going to move them up front and these ones to the back.
Select target. Off we go.
Because we're still not under any real pressure. Another thing we'll do is we'll switch this guy out here because he has taken some damage. And switch him with this one. And just move this guy over to this flank. Because he's probably used up a fair bit of his healing. Okay, and just wait. Okay, you may fire at will. Let's get you out of there. Doesn't really matter about using these at this stage. Unless you're fighting a single entity, it's probably not going to make any serious difference. So what's going on here? Okay. And then switch them over there. That's it. Well, a serious attack is coming over here. Imagine if we had wasted all of our ammunition before these guys here arrived. Bounce power seems about even, and yeah, there's still a decent amount of force still to come in. Yeah, if you only go up against one army, then obviously you just fire at will like crazy, but since we've got 3 armies here, we've got to make sure the ammunition counts. The Thanes can't be expected to take on the entire army by themselves. Like, they could definitely take on a lot, but I don't think they can take on the entire thing. Okay, we got shitting coming over here that we gotta deal with. Yep, that's it. That way. Okay, just all fire at will again now, and we'll see how this goes.
Range far, range fast. Let us bleed for the clan.
That's it. See how they're not running towards the artillery? That's because we've put our guys far enough away that they just don't think it's worth it to leave this guy alone here. You've got to make sure you keep your heroes at a nice distance.
For the cannons and jaw. I'll get my tools. Drang them.
Alright, what's going on here? Why aren't you shooting? And you are, just not all the time. Should we plug the gap in between here? Okay, we've got way too much stuff coming in through this way here. I need to send more guys here to hold this back. Okay, you're gonna need a rune of slowness on this dude. Okay, we need to specifically focus fire. I've got to stop this tree man here. Starting to shoot at our artillery. So just try to keep that busy. Look how long they're taking to bloody get organized. Once they do, okay, we need more blobs bombing that. This one is taking a fair bit of damage. Yeah, look at that. See, I told you the Weight Watchers would do that. Tree man is doing a number on this guy here. Okay, these ones here, just get them out of there. They're about to get wiped out. Okay, organ gun gone. That's good. This guy here is about to go. Get him out of there. This guy here, just do the best you can.
That'll do. Range far, range fast. Come together, lads. Flame cannon. Bring death on them.
These damn archers, I just can't really deal with them properly. Okay, this guy here, I'm gonna try to pull it back.
Pump those dwarven legs. Go. That'll do. Show us that target, Lord.
Okay, just let them fire at will again. So this guy here, trying to pull him out. Okay, I don't think anyone's been wiped out yet, but we've had a little bit of a close call. That one there shouldn't be a problem. They should be able to repel that. Come on. These archers here. Okay, I need a bit more ammo. Okay, things are starting to calm down a little bit. I'm going to cease fire and then fire at will, so they can just pick different targets.
Pump those dwarven legs. Ready to strike. Go.
Yeah, the archers are by far the biggest problem.
Yes.
I'll fill up the ammo a bit later. Keep holding them back. How are you going over here? Get rid of this. Alright, I think we can put these guys back on the artillery now. There's less pressure coming over here. Alright, bounce of power hasn't improved, but at least all the reinforcements have come in now. Okay, we are pretty low on ammo. Alright, they're back to it again. That's good.
This is an order. The ancestors watch.
So I think at some point we're probably going to have to withdraw most of the artillery crew and just let the heroes handle the rest of this. Okay, ceasefire, ceasefire. We're aiming at bad targets there. There's still a fair bit of reinforcements to come in. It's mostly just bad targets. Let the heroes do the cleanup.
Go! The ancestors watch. Obey me. Go! Organ gunner. Nothing can stop us.
So what's going on with this one here?
Guild approved.
Alright, last one of these restocks, we'll use it on the flame cannons, because they've been doing a pretty good job for us.
Let us bleed for the clan. Strike out. Plow through.
They're still kind of shooting at us a little bit over here.
A worthy order. I speak my lord's will.
I'm not too worried about that.
Kazook! The clans unite.
He's firing that. Yeah, they're not going to do much. I wouldn't worry about it.
The clans unite!
Did that still not break? Oh, there we go. There we go.
Got! Organ gunner!
Alright, just handfuls of bloody glade guards and shit over here, still shooting at us.
Vengeance! Kazook! Dwarves! To me!
It's just dregs. Not worth using artillery for. This is where I think that an artillery doomstack's not really the best, because it's good at thinning out enemy units, but they're not ideal for taking out like just a handful of troops. You need small arms for that.
Organ gunner! Kill them!
I don't think you need to do that.
Stop! For the ancestor gods! Come, Snorri! Get in there, you fat like an Elgin! Yes!
Get back on your artillery there.
Fane!
This damn glade guard here.
I am a slave! A worthy order! It is a
Okay, balance of power is still just even, but at least I don't have any more reinforcements now. And we are slowly healing, that does make a difference. But I can't pull any more ammunition out of my ass.
Kill!
What was that about? What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that. Alright, this one here might as well just leave the battlefield.
Put those dwarven legs!
Just get to the back there. Guess I could use them to act as meat shield, but I don't think the AI will shoot at them because they don't have, they're not threatening anymore.
Muster the throng!
Still another tree man coming.
Plow through! War of vengeance!
Against Glade Riders
Attack!
and Sisters of the Thorn, maybe just have like one piece of artillery shooting at that. These ones here aren't set up properly anyway.
Let us a reckoning.
Alright, should I use the artillery here? Maybe, hang on, we just inflicted the army losses, there we go. Cool. Alright, so you might as well just fire at will. So we got the army losses on them, despite the fact that it was still considered evenly matched, just because, in terms of damage done to each forces, the game adjudicated us a win. Alright, cool, we're never going to run any of them down. I had my concerns that this army here wouldn't even be able to beat that battle, and under the commands of a human opponent, which, you know, we never build these armies for human opponents, but if, hypothetically, this was a human opponent, we wouldn't have stood a chance. They obviously would have run straight past. But yeah, it does seem like it works. This would have been a very tough army for this one to deal with normally. I don't think in Warhammer 2 this would have worked, because the AI would have just rushed right through you. But I think that the AI in Warhammer 3 is a little bit more passive, and kind of gets confused a lot easier. Now, if we have a look in terms of damage output, the organ guns way outperformed in terms of kills. However, yeah, in terms of damage output, the organ guns just did a lot better. Maybe it's because they were up front, but they both used up a similar amount of ammo. And we mostly just had them on autopilot for the duration of the battle. But I can definitely see the point of getting a mix of these two. It's not like flame cannons are bad units. It's probably not helped by the fact that these guys are mostly in loose formation. Alright, so rating this. I definitely appreciate how this was set up. We have to keep in mind it's not an early game Doomstack. It's not really on the practical side of things. Like, I wouldn't be... yeah, whatever. None of the stuff here matters. He's not requiring me to send it so far back. Yeah, just thinking about practicality first.
For the wisdom of the layer.
The thing is, the dwarfs really do benefit, I think, a great deal from just having balanced armies. I know the Cheese Master is saying you should build balanced armies, but I've already sort of said that with dwarves so many times before. It's not to say that you can't build this sort of army, but I think that there's so many situations where you could find yourself screwed over. It's very terrain dependent. Like, that was okay in terms of terrain. You can definitely get better, you can get a lot worse. Sieges are okay, except for the fact that in Warhammer 3, the way for dealing with sieges is no longer, like, standing behind the walls and just, like, shooting the enemy, but by sending a couple of heroes that are fairly fast to just go cap the town square. So, artillery, while they're still good in sieges, despite the fact that the AI does dodge a lot more, they are less effective than they used to be. Like, in Warhammer 2, they would just sit there and just bomb the entire garrison. They wouldn't do anything about it. But you weren't able to just go and cap the town square because they'd always have somebody there. With a couple of exceptions. We've got, let's see, 4 Thanes in there. So that's not too difficult to get. Runesmiths are fairly easy to get. Master Engineers are not as difficult as they used to be to get, so it's not using up too much hero resources. If we have a look at what the Master Engineer is doing, he is increasing the ammunition of the army. I think that maybe taking out a Thane for another Master Engineer for 20% extra ammo and also for restock would be very handy, especially considering how much you're relying on the on these guys' ammo here. Like, I really had to tell them to stop shooting quite often because I was worried I was going to run out of ammo. And while the Thanes did a good job at holding them back, it's not to say that the Master Engineers aren't completely incompetent in doing that as well. You know, you can give them an Iron Warden tankard, they should be able to hold nowhere near as long as a Thane, but extra ammunition goes a long way. In addition to extra missile strength and don't worry about speed for missile units. But yeah, it's mostly just these two here that makes a big difference, I think. But ultimately, I think the way he's built an artillery Doomstack is about as good as you can get it. Apart from just tailoring it to the situation. The fact that it even managed to win against the Wood Elves when it was outnumbered 3-1 was fairly impressive. But I just don't think it's very practical to be building it to sort of win your campaigns. This is the kind of army that you build once you've already won your campaign, and it's a vanity army. It's okay in auto-resolve, but as far as dwarfs are concerned, you can definitely do better. In terms of power, it's okay. I wouldn't give it top marks because there are things that it would struggle against. And ease of use, this is probably where it should get the lowest score. This is not necessarily an easy army to use because if you get a completely flat terrain and you're only going up against one army, then cool, just set them up anywhere and just shoot and it should be fine. However, if there are some situations where the terrain's not great, or the enemy army is full of cavalry or full of single entities that are small, then you might really struggle, and that would require a little bit more know-how about what situation these things work in and when they don't. So not necessarily super easy to use. It was okay in that army, but I can imagine certain situations where it would be a bit more difficult. So, in summary, like, not great practicality, pretty good strength, and not great ease of use. That's my rating of this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something about this. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this particular Doomstack. I appreciate it being sent in, and we'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.